playtime plan? Do you have that finalized for?
I know I want the first groups to play a little longer. This is our dress rehearsal game, so we definitely need to play probably through the first half. And then we'll evaluate at halftime and see where everybody is and kind of go from there.
Do you have a philosophy on wanting to see those guys come out after halftime? I mean, I know you said you'd see at that point.
Right. No, I think
that or no?
no, that doesn't. I think it's the number of plays we've played in the game and how we're playing per se and those things more so than having to come back out after half. I think a lot of our guys have done that. So I think that part I don't really fall into.
Does that apply to a young quarterback who's getting his first start, or will you give him more time considering that?
Well, no, probably not. I mean, again, he's going to play with his unit, and things are going good. You know, we'll take him out, and if he's not, then we'll let him play a little bit longer. So that's probably the fun part for me about it. I get to make the call on that after halftime. If we need to play more, we will, and if we don't, we won't.
Last year, I think the league in general, 68% ran out of shotgun. Do you have a philosophy or a feeling of where you want Kizer to be? Is if he ends up being your quarterback, you know, obviously he's very mobile, but do you kind of know where you kind of want him to be in that range?
Well, I mean, we don't really go into it with a set number. You know, I think we look at the things we need to do to win games, you know, and sometimes certain things we do are very comfortable for a quarterback in the shotgun. Some things are better under center. I know we've been more in the gun than probably anything lately, but we have a variety of different things we do, so we'll kind of explore as we move forward on what's the best fit for him, and kind of play off of that.
You've worked a lot with a lot of younger quarterbacks, and the way that the league is going, a lot of these guys are coming out of those type of systems. Is that part of why you think you're seeing so many guys, so many teams running it right now for the comfort?
Absolutely, yeah. I think our job is to make sure these guys are successful. You know, so you want them to be the best they can be, and if that's where their comfort level is, that's kind of where you tend to lean towards your offense. But we'll do what we think is best for the 11 guys, but obviously with the quarterback in mind, and kind of go from there.
Does the shotgun affect your running game?
Oh, it could. I mean, it's not as effective. There's not a lot of different variety when you're in the shotgun, but it is a good running game too, especially if you can throw the ball off a play action on it. So I think there's a lot of ways to scheme and do things differently, but it's not as effective as you have a lead back and somebody behind you and running downhill.
On Monday night, Kizer had one series against their starters where like 5 or 6 plays, there were 2 or 3 sacks, and I know one got negated by a penalty. When you looked at that again, how did you account for that? What happened on this?
Didn't play as well there. Not him. I'm just the unit in general. I mean, the first play we completed to Corey for 20 yards and come back with a different action, but kind of the same way. And JPP blows upfield, makes a play, and the second sack, I really don't recall that one, but there were some plays, you know, that he made. I mean, I thought he handled himself extremely well. I think our unit has to continue to play better around him.
Looked like Campbell got back out there. Is he going to be able to play this week?
We'll see. You know, it's good to see him run around in the field. You know, again, it's the first time he's been out there in a while, so we'll do everything we can to see where he is physically before we stick him out there.
You talk a lot about mixing and matching units at this time of year, but is there any level of concern that your offensive line probably won't play together until the first game if everyone's healthy?
Oh, absolutely there is. You know, there's no question about that. So we got hopefully some practice days coming up before then. We probably won't have played in a game together yet, but hopefully we can practice together and have a semblance of what that's going to be like before we do get to Pittsburgh.
You expect everybody on offense except Batonio as far as that number 1 team?
This week?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
And Joku also?
Yes.
And Crowell?
Have you seen Deshaun be any different in these 2 days since you named him to start?
I see an uptick in you know, making sure that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. I thought he had really good practice today. Yesterday, I think he was different. I think it was all new for him, and walking in the huddle for the first time as being the leader of the group. I'm sure that's overwhelming for anybody. But today, I mean, he acted like the Deshaun I know and took the bull by the horns and had a heck of a practice.
We talked to David Lee last week, and he mentioned that out of the quarterbacks that you study in the offseason, he really raved about Deshaun's, you know, football acumen, his IQ, just the whole mental side of the game. Can you address that a little bit, and do you think that that's one of the reasons why he's in this position right now?
Well, I think, you know, when we drafted this young man, we spent a lot of time with him, and he has talent and ability, and he has the football IQ. You know, he's been here with us for quite a while, and so we've seen him grow, you know, through this process with him. So he's done a good job that way. He works at it. It's important to him. You know, we're teaching him how we want our quarterback to perform and prepare and all those different things. And so that's a challenge for anybody, because we ask a lot, and I'm sure a lot of other teams do too across the National Football League. You know, as a quarterback, you live a kind of lonely road a little bit. When you come here early, you stay here late. You get rid of distractions, you know, you turn the phones off, and you got to kind of shut everybody out, because you got to find your process that works for you. And so we're in the middle and in the process of finding what's best for him. How is he going to best get all this information, get it in, and then be able to give it back to his teammates? And he's going through it. But he's done a great job. You know, he doesn't run from it. He kind of runs to it. He understands. He knows that's what it's going to take if he really wants this job. This is not for everybody. I think we all know that. And there's a lot of people that can't do it at a high level consistently. But if you are, there's a lot that goes into it, and I think he's finding that out, and I think he's up to the challenge of doing that.
Question about Kizer's running. The other day you alluded to he needs to finish smart. But in terms of taking off in the first place, how's he doing as to getting out too soon to start a run, or taking the run just when it's time?
No, I thought he's done a good job. The one thing that I've been really impressed with him about is his movement in the pocket. I think he has a feel, he has moxie in the pocket and when to move and when to get away from things. Every now and then, I just don't want him to realize how big he is, you know, because you're 6'4", 232, doesn't mean you can go take on people like you're a running back. You know, we need to get on the ground, because he has to understand, you know, this is a 16-game proposition, you know, so we need you up and playing. We don't need our quarterback standing next to me. So I think he gets it. You know, like I said, there was one run where he just wanted to run into somebody, and we got that out of him real quick. We don't need to do that, so we'll go from there.
Can you list a few positions or roles that are up for grabs even going into Tampa?
I think, you know, just the pecking order at receiver. I think, you know, again, looking at our secondary, you know, who's going to be the backups to guys who are starters. I think the rotation in the defensive line, just how that happens, you know, how that works. We have a new body in here that we need to see, and Brandon Thompson. So I just, you know, again, that's kind of, I think, what it is. And then how is the tight end situation going to unfold? It was good to see David play last week, but David, that was new for David. That was his first time. You know, so he needs to take a jump this week as we play down in Tampa.
Kicker in there?
I think there's no question the kicking situation is in there too. So we'll continue. So there are some battles that are going on. We have to make some tough decisions as we move forward. But that's a good problem to have too.
How did you think Peppers played defensively? And you talked about how he's able to adapt to free safety playing that deep center field. But how has he been able to do that when he didn't have a ton of experience?
I think he's done a good job. Again, I give a lot of credit to Coach Williams and the staff. They've done a good job of getting him the information and creating an environment for him that he can become better, because he's gotten better. And I think he likes it and he wants to. I mean, I laugh at all the reports that he maybe couldn't play in the middle of the field. I mean, here's a guy that returns punts, and he has to judge a ball all the time. You know, that's what he does. So this guy knows how to track a ball. He knows how to find where the ball is. So we never bought into any of that. You know, I think it's only said because he played around the ball so much. But he has the skill to play back there, and he's demonstrated that.
When you talk about the pecking order at wide receiver, are you talking about starting from Corey and Kenny on down, or are you talking about after those?
I think I'm really talking about after those guys. I just think who's going to be, you know, who is third, fourth, fifth, sixth. You know, what is that, and what does that look like, and how do we see those guys, and what can they bring to our football team?
You said Rock won't play in Tampa. Can you look ahead? Will he play in the fourth game?
I don't know that. Let's get through this one, and then we'll talk about that.
He would seems like since the preseason games have started, really.
He's next.
You get the picture.
As long as we both can ask a
Yeah,
question.
here we go. It was me. It was nothing him. Don't get mad at him. It was me. Come on now.
I don't want to get cut off by Peter. Sean Coleman seems like he's settled in there right tackle since the preseason games have started. What's your progress report on how he's done and just what you saw against him and JPP?
He's battled. You know, there's some things that, you know, I've talked to Sean about that I want him to improve on. He's working at it every day. I love his temperament. he's a young player. He's got to continue to grow and get better. But the thing I like about him, he comes in every day working at it, and he's one of our tough guys, and we like him. He battled JPP. JPP is a good player, one of the best in the league. He held his own a little bit. There were some things, like I said, that he can get better at, but I think he's growing and getting better.
Last one.
Kizer running the ball. How do you want him to handle read options when he goes
Get
down the field?
on the ground. I mean, it doesn't, just because we call him don't mean you have to run. You can still hand it off, and if they're coming at you, duck. Okay? No, I mean, some of that's in his background. He's done some of that. It gives us different options on offense, but we're not a read zone team. We're a team that has the ability to run read zone, so we're going to protect our quarterback. I don't want our quarterback taking unnecessary hits. This guy is a very talented passer as well, so that's what his strength's going to be, but he does have ability with his legs to make plays.